Welcome traders, gonna do another back testing session. Now, I don't want the video to be like an hour long, so instead of having one continuous shot, I'm just gonna cut straight to the key moments. Let me know in the comments if you like this style better, or do you prefer just having one continuous shot when I back test. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I think I may try and do a live stream this weekend, possibly Sunday morning, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'm on Thinkorswim on demand. Gonna go to January 15th to the 19th. That's where I'm gonna be back testing. Now, if you're on Thinkorswim, if you see the calendar here and the number is like a pinkish number, that means it's either a holiday or a weekend. So the 15th is a week or a holiday. So not gonna have any trading this day, but let's go ahead and go to the end of day on the 15th and take a look at the daily chart. So on the daily chart, we see that price did come down towards this volume imbalance on the daily, but it was just shy of getting to it, and then it rallied back up, creating a fair value gap here. So we'll take note of that. I was looking at this large fair value gap, and it looks like we have closed above it with these two candles. So we've closed two daily candles above this fair value gap. I'm thinking that this could be inversion, and we could be going for the all-time high once again. There is another smaller fair value gap above it, so I'm gonna keep an eye out on this. If we can trade above it, then yeah, definitely gonna go for the buy side. As of right now, I am leaning towards the buy side, but if we do start coming down below this BISI, then I'll be continuing to the sell side, looking for price to return back into that volume imbalance, especially this right here where there's a void of any buying or selling. So 8 o'clock Tuesday morning, we can see that buy side is here. That's the all-time high, but there's also a set of buy side right here, right on that daily fair value gap. I think this would be a reasonable target to go for if we can start rallying. Pre-market, we've already taken out this low at 5 o'clock. I'm not sure if we're going to go below this low. I mean, this one went back down to this fair value gap to rebalance it, but I think this is good enough. I am keeping my eye on this 1 hour SIBI right here. If we can start going above it and using it as support, aim for these buy side for sure. But if we start getting energetic movement, we can look for the all-time highs. So this is also going to be pretty good because we have this daily SIBI, which is, I'm viewing this as inversion, and going down halfway, you can see the bodies are staying above half of this fair value gap. Here on the 15-minute, you can see that Tuesday morning London session, we rallied down, or yeah, we dropped down to take the sell side below these lows right here. And then now we've rallied above this entire drop. So I would really like it if we can see some energetic move above this 4 hour fair value gap and use it as support. And then I'll be aiming for the buy side. So my bias today is going to be bullish. I'm going to try to take some longs, aiming for these buy side up here. Zoomed in on the 5-minute chart, you can see that we started rallying, and these fair value gaps, the bullish fair value gaps, have been respected. Now it is before 8:30. I still see price coming down to take out this low. There is a fair value gap here that wasn't traded back into, so I could see some kind of stop rate down here. And then once we get that, then I want to see some kind of market structure shift or some kind of displacement to the upside. So I'm just going to mark this out. This one I'm going to keep my eyes on. So here at 8:30, you can see that we did come down below this for a sweep, and we got the pretty energetic move up. So I'm sticking with the 5-minute, and I mean, you could go down to a 1-minute to see if there's any imbalances, any entries right here, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the 5-minute. I want to see price go back up above this fair value gap, and remember, we have those higher targets, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. Okay, so we created a fair value gap, and if I go ahead and try to take an entry here at the high of the fair value gap with my stop at the low right here, you can see from the spreadsheet with these prices here, I'll be risking 38.5 points, which is going to be 0.75% of the account. So I only had enough risk to do one contract, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a stab right here. Okay, so price did give us an entry before 9:30, and at the 9:30 bell we can see that we started rallying, creating a new high here. Now, I'm a little worried that this could be a three drives pattern. I really want to see price get above this fair value gap and get out of this daily SIBI. Or so right now, if on the close of this candle, we could already move our stop loss up here just to reduce the risk a little bit, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. Now, looking outwards, this right here is kind of far away. I mean, that is my target, but I do see all these flat highs up here. So I think this is, I'm going to make this my target right here. And if we can get back above this high, then I'm going to go ahead and try to reduce my risk a little bit. Okay, so unfortunately, we did get stopped out. I was worried that it could be a three drive pattern. Gonna give it some time just to see what it's gonna do. It could be coming down for this low, so just gonna wait for a little bit. All right, so we're getting close to 10 o'clock, and I see that we do have displacement down lower. This 4-hour fair value gap seems to be respected. You can see the bodies are staying in the lower half of that 4-hour fair value gap. We have a breaker, high, low, higher, high, and displacement lower. This fair value gap here, I'm going to plan on entering a short into this fair value gap. And there's also this breaker right here, but I'm going to keep my risk just above the second candle. I mean, and going above the high right here is a little bit too much risk. By keeping my risk here, this is going to give me about 0.5% risk. So I'm going to go ahead and take one contract. It's a little bit more than 0.5%, but I will allow myself that since my first trade was not the full 1%. I'm just going to go ahead and aim for this low. Although this right here is already, better than 1-to-1, so I could just be safe and take it off down here. I'm going to mark it and just kind of consider it when we get there. All right, guys, no dice right here. Market rallied up into my stop. Now, if I had my stop up here, I guess that hasn't gotten hit yet. We could still be respecting this high. I guess what I should have done was wait for confirmation here to see if this was going to get respected. And if we have a second fair value gap, then I can try to enter into that one and look for these lows. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the time just to see if that happened throughout the day. Okay, so 12:15. I only took those two trades, got stopped down both, but looking at the morning action, market first rallied up to take the buy side, then it went down. This was the fake move to take the sell side. This was the stop hunt. And then overall in the morning session, it was bullish. So it rallied up, fair value gap here with a balanced price range. Then we rallied up higher, but there wasn't really any opportunities in here on the 5-minute before we hit that first target that I was looking for. And then close to 11 o'clock, we started dropping, and now we're back kind of like at equilibrium in the day's range. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next day. So before going to the next day, I'm taking a look at the daily chart for the end of the day. It's kind of undecisive, but once again, we did close above this daily SIBI. So I'm looking for next day to be bullish. I want to go ahead and take out this high and possibly the all-time high if we can get above this fair value gap. But yeah, I think the bias is going to be bullish for the next day. Okay, so Wednesday, January 17th, it is 8:15 in the morning. We have relative lows here, and you can see that we are kind of in the daily fair value gap once again. Buy size above here, above all these highs. So what I want to see is I want to see price come, take out these relative lows, then a market structure shift or displacement up, and we're going to try to aim for these highs. Okay, 9:05, we went ahead and took out those relative lows right here. So now I want to see displacement, or if it can get above this high, then I'll be looking for those higher highs. There is a fair value gap here on the 5-minute. If I do see a rally up and then confirmation with another fair value gap, I could be willing to enter depending on the risk, maybe taking a partial up here and seeing if we can run for those higher highs. Okay, with the 9:30 open, we've dived down even lower. Now we went to below that daily SIBI that was viewing as inversion. So I'm just going to sell my hands right now and wait to see if we can get above these highs with some displacement. If we can't, then I'm not going to take any shorts. I'm only going to take longs for the day. I do understand that we have the lower target with the volume imbalance, But remember, I want to see price get below this daily busy before I start thinking about shorts. So I'm just going to stick with the longs, just going to wait, see if we can get above this high or not. Okay, 12:30 trading day is over. Price did rally back up, didn't take out this high, but it kind of created relative high. So I'm thinking it's setting up for like an afternoon session rally and maybe looking for this high up here. Now I'm done for my back testing, so I'm not going to look for the PM session, even though I think that could be a very high possibility. But yeah, just got to follow the model, you know, which includes a time window, and my cutoff time is 12:15. Let's go ahead and take a look at the end of the day to see how price performed, or whether or not we took out this high or not. So we did rally up. I mean, whoa, it did dip lower and then started rallying later. I think this would have been kind of hard to take along, but yeah, rallied above these. Didn't get this high just yet, and pretty much just went sideways towards the end. So gonna go to the next day and see what we can get. No trade today on Wednesday. Thursday morning, January 18th. Now the market rallied up a lot overnight. See that these are going to be the highs that I have been looking for. We've already taken out this high, so hope I didn't miss a move, but we'll see. I'm looking for a retracement back into this 1 hour fair value gap, and hopefully we can see something here to get us in for a long up here. I don't really want to see price come back into the SIBI once again, but at the very lowest, I don't want to see price go below this up candle right here. So on the 5 minute, I'm not really seeing any like, you know, relative highs or lows that we can be looking for. Pretty much just going to see if price can retrace back into this zone right here and see if we can find something to get us long. But really, ideally, would want to take a long somewhere in this area and then aim for the 17,056. Okay, so 9:15, you can see that we've dropped back into that 1 hour fair value gap like I wanted. We did start rallying, but I'm going to wait for 9:30. I'm going to keep my eye on this fair value gap here just to see if this is going to hold up. If I do get confirmation, I'll take the very next fair value gap if I can. But I think that because, you know, this kind of looks a little suspicious, we could at 9:30, I think we could come and sweep these lows one more time. And then if we do that, then I'll, you know, maybe I'll go for the next fair value gap. Okay, here post 9:30, just 5 minutes after, we do get confirmation here on this fair value gap. So displacement here. Now I don't like how it took the high already, but if we somehow form a fair value gap here, I will want to go ahead and try taking an entry. As long as we don't take out the buy side just yet, my risk will be down here, and then we'll take a look at where our potential entry could be. If I do miss it by skipping ahead, I'm saying it right now, I'm taking the next fair value gap that forms here. Okay, so I didn't quite miss it just yet. Now price did get very close to the buy side, but not quite just yet. So I'm still going to go ahead and try for this buy side. My entry is going to be here, and according to my spreadsheet, with that risk, you can see that with 2 contracts, that's going to be less than 1%. So I'm going to go ahead and try for 2 contracts on this trade here. Okay, after 2 more candles, I am tagged in. But unfortunately, the market did not want to give me that rally up to the buy side. We got stopped out here for about 1% loss. I'm going to look at it a little bit while longer to see if there's going to be another. I'm thinking maybe we can come sweep these lows and then maybe form another shot to get above this high. Okay, so I'm seeing we did sweep this low and we're kind of starting rallying here. We'll see if we get another fair value gap. I guess it came back to touch the, I think that this was the 1 hour BISI. Yeah, the 1 hour BISI. So we'll see if there's another fair value gap that forms here. I mean, it doesn't have to take this low out. This could be an intermediate low, but we did get another sell side rate right here. We'll see if there's another fair value gap that forms. Okay, so we did get another fair value gap. I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot. So I've entered in here, and you can see from this entry long with my stop loss down here, I can only take one contract as that will give me about 0.5%. I already took a loss in the day, so the rules dictate that my risk management is going to be only 0.5% risk for the next trade. If I lose this one, then I am done for the day. Let's see if this works out or not. All right, finally we got a winning trade this week. So we did get a rally up, and I took my profits here at 17,056. Okay, so with that win, you can see that we caught almost 2-1, which is pretty good. We're still down on the week, but at least we did recover a little bit. Let's go ahead and go to the next day to see if we can get one more trade for this week. On the daily, you can see that we are moving away from this SIBI. It does look like it's being used as an inversion fair value gap. The bodies are in the upper half of this inversion fair value gap. We've traded above this daily SIBI, so it really looks like we're going to be aiming for this 17,165 level. So going to the next day, I'm going to be bullish once again, looking for this high to get taken. Okay, so Friday morning, 8:15, looks like the all-time high already got taken, so not even sure if I would even want to back test today, but without a higher target, the best I could do is do a projection from here. You can see we've already reached to -1.5. We could try to aim for -2, so I'll just do a line somewhere right here. But yeah, I mean, at all-time highs, you know, I say it all the time, it gets really difficult to trade. You don't really have any targets, or we could have a retracement down lower. Remember, we do have that void still. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll look at the price. I'll look at the price action, but not really excited to trade today. Okay, looking at the 15-minute, we got this new all-time high right here that kind of looks like it's going to get taken right away. But below it, we do have sell side here with a fair value gap, and also sell side down here. Didn't mark this one out because the fair value gap pretty much took care of that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look through the day's action, see what I can see. So around, you know, a little bit before 8:30, we did sweep that high once again. We went down to take this low, kind of close to that fair value gap on the 15-minute. I'm gonna wait to see what 9:30 gives us. Okay, so we do get displacement down. Now, there is a fair value gap. I guess we could try taking a short, looking for these lows down here. Do I want to see confirmation? I'm not sure. We did take the highs up here. There was a fair value gap that was used once, but it wasn't really that strong. But we did trade below these lows, and now we're getting a reaction at 9:30. Like I said, I'm not too excited to trade today, so I'm going to wait for confirmation on this one. And I am glad that I wanted to wait for confirmation, because if I did take a short here, would have gotten stopped out on here. I mean, it is Friday. We've already taken the all-time highs. I'm gonna just say today is going to be a no trade day, but I'm gonna keep looking. Okay, 11:15. We took the all-time high once again, but look at this price action. Very, very choppy. Like pretty much one candle up, one candle down. The high and lows are like practically the same. It's just very, very choppy. I'm glad, like, I mean, if this was real time, I would go crazy just watching this price action. Good thing we're back testing and we can like skip ahead. Anyways, only got about an hour left. Just gonna go ahead and skip ahead just to see what the price action is gonna look like. Pretty much not gonna do any trading today. So 12:15. Let's see what it's at. And yeah, we just took the highs a couple more time and pretty much just. We may just go sideways. I don't really care about the afternoon session. I'm going to go to the end of the day, take a look at the daily, and we want to end this video with a daily chart so for the next backtesting session. So ultimately, we did trade higher on the day. Now, I am interested in this fair value gap. Should price ever return back into this fair value gap, I really want to keep my eyes on how we behave here. We're going to use it as support, or if we're going to go down below and use it as an inversion. Not really worried about this fair value gap anymore. Now, if we do start going down, we do still have that volume balance void that we could be looking for. I'm just going to take the price off, leave that there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around, and come back for the next backtesting session. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe because I may be doing some live streaming on YouTube this weekend, Sunday morning. So I'll put an announcement out there if that's going to happen or not. But until next time, guys, safe trading.